Have you ever found yourself turning to the words of Psalm 35 in times of strife and struggle? This psalm, one of the many poetic verses found in the book of Psalms, serves as a beacon of hope and comfort for many during challenging times. Its verses resonate deeply with those seeking divine intervention and protection against adversaries. Just imagine the scene. The psalmist, possibly David, calls out to the divine with raw emotion, pleading for justice, vindication, and protection. The words of Psalm 35 are not just ancient texts, they are a timeless call to the divine, a cry for help that echoes through the ages. This psalm, filled with vivid imagery and powerful petitions, remains as relevant today as it was when it was first penned. Whether you're a spiritual seeker or just curious about the wisdom embedded in these ancient texts, Psalm 35 offers a fascinating study. So let's delve deeper into these powerful words of supplication. Psalm 35 begins with a plea. Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. These opening verses are a passionate cry for divine intervention, a plea to God for protection against adversaries. The psalmist is not merely asking for help. He is imploring God to step into the ring to take up arms on his behalf. This is a profound statement of trust. The psalmist is not relying on his own strength or abilities, but on the divine power of God. It is a testament to his faith, his belief that God is not a distant, indifferent entity, but a personal defender, a champion who will fight for him. This psalm is a reminder that in times of strife and struggle, we are not alone. We have a defender who is mightier than any earthly foe. The psalmist's faith in God's protection is truly inspiring. As we move forward, the psalmist's plea intensifies. May ruin overtake them by surprise. May the net they hid entangle them. May they fall into the pit, to their ruin. In these middle verses of Psalm 35, we witness the raw emotion and desperation of the psalmist. He is not merely asking for protection from his enemies, but rather he is beseeching divine intervention for their downfall. The psalmist's plea is not just a cry for personal safety, but also a call for justice. His words paint a vivid picture. Enemies ensnared by their own traps, caught off guard and falling into ruin. There's a certain poetic justice in this imagery. The psalmist's enemies, who had laid nets for him, are now the ones entangled. Those who had dug pits for him to fall into are the ones who end up in the pit. The psalmist's desperation is palpable, showing the depths of his faith in divine justice. In the concluding verses, the psalmist pleads, "Lord, how long will you look on? Rescue me from their ravages, my precious life from these lions." It's a cry that resonates with us, doesn't it? We've all felt that desperation, that urge for rescue from situations or people who seem to be tearing us apart. But let's delve deeper into these verses. The psalmist isn't just pleading for rescue, he's also expressing an incredible amount of trust. There's an unspoken belief that, despite the seemingly insurmountable odds, God will intervene. The psalmist is banking on divine rescue, trusting that God will not just look on, but act. And isn't that an extraordinary testament to faith? Even in the face of adversity, the psalmist's conviction does not waver. He believes in divine justice and deliverance. Even in his desperation, the psalmist's faith and hope in God's intervention remain unshaken. Psalm 35 is a powerful reminder of faith during adversity. This psalm beautifully encapsulates the human struggle, painting a picture of a soul in turmoil, yet still finding strength in their faith. The themes of this psalm are deeply rooted in the challenges we face, the enemies we confront, and the victories we celebrate. The psalm's author, David, implores divine intervention in his battles, a sentiment many of us can identify with when faced with difficulties. However, the psalm goes beyond just seeking help. It also emphasizes the importance of gratitude and joy in deliverance, a lesson we can all apply in our lives. In times of hardship, Psalm 35 can serve as a beacon of hope, reminding us that faith can be a powerful ally against adversity. It encourages us to pray, to hope, and to rejoice in the face of challenges. How do you interpret Psalm 35? How do its words resonate with your own experiences of struggle and faith?